Hello, this is Lego Crave 66 here, back with another video, and today we are going to be reviewing set 10316, Lego Icons Rivendell. This is probably the best Lego Lord of the Rings set that has ever came out. Even though it's under the Icons theme, it is Lord of the Rings, even though it should not be under this theme. I think it should just make it its own theme, but besides that, best Lord of the Rings set that's ever been released, has probably some of the best minifigures I've ever seen in a Lego set. It is, in my opinion, my favorite Lego set, and it is also the biggest Lego Lord of the Rings set, and it's super expensive, but that's fine because it's a better deal than some of the Star Wars sets that are out right now. Hot take, I know. Anyway, I have a lot of good things to say about this set, and I actually did make a review a few weeks ago, and I did post it, but I'm going to take it down when I'm done this video, because I kind of yapped the whole time. It was very long, and I feel like I probably lost a lot of potential viewers from it, so I'm going to make this one a lot quicker. So let's begin with probably the best Lego Lord of the Rings set ever. So starting off with our minifigures, we have first is Gandalf. And honestly, I'm a little disappointed with Gandalf. There's a lot of things I like about him, like this dress piece and the printing on it, but just the head that they used, I'm just not a big fan. I'm not a fan of the print. I feel like it could have been just ever so slightly better. They just used a regular old man head, and I just think they could have gone the extra mile and gave him a little bit more wrinkles, bushier eyebrows to make him look more like Gandalf the Grey, but other than that, I think he's fine. Just the face I'm a little disappointed in. Also, he does come with a hairpiece, so I will put that on him in a moment. So yeah, he looks like that with his hair. Pretty good, but still, the head print, not a big fan. Moving on, we have Frodo Baggins. Frodo Baggins looks phenomenal, a lot better than his original counterpart from 2012. I definitely love the new Sting mold that they used, and it's, of course, the same ring. They haven't changed it. I like his dark green cape. It also uses hard fabric. Now, for some strange reason, the Gandalf uses the soft fabric, so I really don't know why. But anyway, also he has Frodo another side to his face. So this side, it's like a happy face, like very chill, that he's in Rivendell. And then the other side, which I've noticed, they're kind of homaging the original sets. It's like a scared face that he has when he gets stabbed at Weathertop, which I've made a review on that set if you want to go check it out. Or also when he gets stabbed by Shelob. That he makes that face twice in this in the old sets. And moving on, we have Sam and Pippin. Now, the reason why I wanted to review these two together is because they're hair pieces. Now, in the original sets, their hair pieces are swapped, where Mary has orange hair and Sam has blonde hair. But for some strange reason, which I don't know why, is Lego decided to swap their hairs. Now, personally, that doesn't really matter too much to me. I just wanted to point that out. I think both characters look phenomenal, especially the Sam. He looks a lot better than the original one. His face just works. Sorry. His face just looks so well compared to the original, even though they were pretty similar. This one just, I don't know, feels more like the actor for some reason. And then moving on, it's basically an exact copy of the original, besides the new dual molded legs that they use, which, I forgot to point out with Frodo. They all look great with them. But yeah, basically an exact copy besides the orange hair. I think he would have done a little better with the orange hair, but that's fine. All right, so next we have Pippin. Yeah, Pippin's pretty good. I definitely do think his face is just a little too cartoonish, but other than that, I think he's fine. I like the brown cape. I think his torso's great, and of course the dual molded legs. And he has lembas bread. And right next to him is Gimli, son of Gloin. Really love the new Gimli minifigure. I want to compare the other Lego Lord of the Rings minifigures from 2012 to these ones, but I feel like I just be yapping the whole time, so I'm going to save that for another video in the future. So yeah, love the new Gimli, love the new mold that they used for his hair. I definitely do think it could have been a little darker, more of like a light brown, but like they did with the original, but that's fine because he also comes with a hairpiece here, which also makes him look great, and he has these new, a new molded axe. Actually, two new molded axes, which look great on him. And now, next we have Legolas, another character that I am ever so slightly disappointed in. I just feel like they could have made his hair probably the original one, just kept it with the original. I feel like this is just too fat on him. Makes his hair look too big, and which just kind of takes away from the idea that Legolas is very like, I don't know, it's like more, but like his hair just looks bushy, and it's like the idea of like, Legolas' hair, it's very fair, very thin, but instead it's kind of thick. So I don't really like that. But also another thing is his face. I feel like they could have made his cheekbones more pronounced, but that's fine. His torso looks great, and he also has dual molded legs here, which is kind of cool that they did that. So that's one good thing. Um, Moving on, this is probably my favorite minifigure in the set is Boromir. Also one of my favorite Fellowship members in the books and movies. This is what he looks like underneath his cape. Yeah, it looks pretty good. He's very similar to the original. I like his shield. I love his new sword mold. Very detailed torso and legs. Yeah, very, very good minifigure. Also, the designers apparently made it apparent that his face right here was representing the scene where he says, the exact moment in the scene at the Council of Elrond where he says, one does not simply walk into Mordor, which I think is really cool. Moving on, we have Aragorn, everyone's favorite. I think he looks very good. I love the new face print. He also has behind it, oh shoot, he also has behind his more smirky face an angrier face, which I also really admire. I think it looks good. So yeah, great minifigure. I also love the new molded sword for him. So yeah. Moving on, we have Bilbo Baggins. I think he looks pretty well done. I do think they just should have used the regular Hobbit hair, just in white for his hairpiece, but that's fine. I think his head makes up for that at the back because it references right here the scene where he tries to grab the ring from Frodo, which I think is a really cool detail that they added. And I remember as a very young kid, like when I was 6, that scene always used to terrify me. Now we have a regular old dwarf, but apparently this is supposed to be Gloin, but the designers weren't allowed to name him because of copyright purposes. They weren't allowed to. So this is just an old dwarf, but it really is Gloin, Gimli's father. I think he's pretty good, just pretty generic looking. He uses the same beard mold and hair mold as Gimli does. I really think they just should have given him the new mold, or like the older mold that they used for the Gloin and the Hobbit sets back in 2012. But overall, pretty decent minifigure. Now this is probably my least favorite minifigure in this set, unfortunately, because I really like the 2013 version of her, is Arwen. I just don't think the head works for her. They just reused a head from another female minifigure, and I just don't really like it. It looks odd to me. She has a book, which is cool, and her dress piece is also pretty nice, but it's just the hair, well, not the hair, the head is just a little uncanny for Arwen being a very like fair elf, but oh well, I'll live with it. Next is Lord Elrond, which I definitely do like in some places, and then other places not so much. I definitely do think they could have used the older hairpiece for Elrond from 2013 and 2014. I do have the 2014 version of Elrond from a Hobbit set, but I do not have the old Rivendell with Elrond. So when I make my comparison on the minifigures, I won't be able to do this Arwen, and I won't be able to do this Elrond and Arwen because I don't have their minifigures from 2013. I never got, unfortunately, the 2013 Rivendell set. Well, Council of Elrond set wasn't really Rivendell, so I don't have that Elrond, but that's fine. Yeah, I feel like his face is slightly too cartoonish. They should have, instead of have his crown printed, it should have been molded to his hair. That would have looked a lot nicer. But instead we got this, which looks, not a big fan. And his dress piece is pretty nice, and also his torso I like, so I'll give him that. Next we have just two generic elves. Not much to say about them other than they're generic, say the least. This guy has a hammer, so he can work in the forge. He has brown hair, and they reused yet again another generic minifigure headpiece where they could have made an actual elf head, but oh well. And I'm pretty sure they did the same with her, but oh well. At the same time, she has a dress piece which looks pretty nice, and she has blonde hair. So yeah, those are the minifigures. I definitely do think, even though I'm kind of complaining about them, it's mostly just to generate discussion because there's not a lot of bad things about them. They look all very detailed, even though there's a few things that the older ones did better. Overall, these minifigs are great. So let's move on to the build. Okay, so moving on, we have the tower build. And I definitely do think that the tower is super detailed with really cool building techniques throughout the entire build. Like these statues here are minifigures, but like they're not official minifigures for the set because they're a part of the build. Like you can't have this part of the build without them. So I really like how they use minifigures for it. They have these archways right here, which they've also used some pretty cool design elements right here. Yeah, really cool details. Nice vegetation under here, which, funny enough, has a play feature. Since this is a display set, you wouldn't think there'd be play features, but there actually is a few. So, this one, you could actually have Sam go under, because in the movie, he's kind of like hiding to spy on the council because he wants to know what's happening. So kind of just put him in here. And I kind of think it's funny how they added that. I wouldn't think they would, but they did, and it's cool. Kind of brings back some nostalgia to some of the play features from the older sets. So moving on to the interior, we have a bookshelf right here, which looks pretty good, like the design that they used. They have a little like lounge chair right here, more of a bed, but it's not really a bed because there's a bed up here. And these arches lead into the other room in the set. Oh shoot, something just fell out. Yeah, sorry, something fell out there. This is the red book that Bilbo writes in to write everyone's favorite children's story, The Hobbit or There and Back Again, then which they made into a 3-hour movie trilogy. And then moving on up here, my favorite Easter egg in the entire set, the Battle of the Last Alliance, where Isildur cuts the ring from Sauron's finger. Love this hidden Easter egg. It's also probably this minifigure right here in the sticker will definitely be the one that they use in the upcoming Barad-dûr in June. Sorry, I have a cough. Right here is the room that Bilbo sleeps in, and also Frodo when he gets stabbed at Weathertop, which again is another set that I've reviewed, and you should go check it out. And then also you can take off this top part of the tower to just reveal the interior a bit more. Yeah, that's Bilbo's study back there. You have a chair for him to sit in, and then right here is his mithril shirt. And then I think the bed used a lot of great design elements throughout the build, especially the elf above it. They used a sticker piece here, and then these pieces that you'd usually see in like a Star Wars spaceship build or a car build, and for the like its arms, which I think is kind of cool that they did. Um, yeah, not much else to say about the tower other than it's extremely detailed. Oh, and also the tiling on the roof. It's also on other parts of the build, but what they would do is they would use the instructions would tell you to grab a plate from the set, like just a flat plate, and rub it along the grooves here, so the tiles that you put can align themselves perfectly straight, which is really cool that they did that. So yeah, definitely a great first build. This was the first part of the instructions in instruction booklet 1. So yeah, looks great. Okay, so moving on to here, we have the vegetation and the rock work to Rivendell, all the nature. So this is like the second section on the second part of the instructions, so instruction book 2. Um, this has the gazebo and the waterfall, the bridge. It looks very nice, probably the one of the nicest parts of the set. It's very detailed too. You have a forgery back here to the side. Definitely really like the detailing with the fire pit here. They have a shovel right there. Then you could have the elf, this guy right here, do his work on the sword, which looks to be like he's reforging the sword of Elendil. Yeah, definitely a really nice part of the set. Love the waterfall. I love the water that they use. The bridge, they used a lot of great building techniques. Very nice design, very well made. And then the gazebo, surprisingly, wasn't that complicated to build, but they use a lot of intricate technic designs to build this, and it just fits in perfectly. You don't have to snap it together, it just slides in, and like this here, fits in perfectly, doesn't shake at all. I mean, of course, if you've tipped it upside down, it will probably fall out. I haven't tried that. I don't really want to, but I'm going to hypothesize that's probably what would happen. And then in here, under the gazebo, you have the armory, which is a really cool feature right here. Nice interior. You have these weapon racks with elven swords. Like, these are also new molds. All of them are, I think all the weapon molds are new except the bow and arrow. Yeah, great features in here. You have, I don't know what this is. I don't know the name of it, but it's where you sharpen your sword. I wish I knew it because I like medieval history, but for some reason I don't remember what that's called. But yeah, this is kind of where you'd sharpen the sword right here. So yeah, definitely one of probably the nicest looking part of the set. It's not my favorite part, but it has the best design, probably the best designs, I'd say. Yeah, very lovely looking. So yeah, let's move on to the last part. Okay, so let's move on to the last section of the build in the third instruction book. This is the actual Council of Elrond. This just looks amazing. It is probably my favorite part of the set. It is my favorite part of the set, sorry. Great rock work and vegetation along here. Under the council, you have this bridge that goes above this tree root. You have a smaller gazebo or more of an entryway that goes into the actual building. And then turning it around, you have also a bench back here with a small little tree underneath this big tree that surprisingly uses a lot of Technic pieces and is a pain to build because it's repetitive. Moving beyond that point, we have the back and showing the interior. A lot of cool details. You have the shards of Narsil. You have, I believe this is Gondolin in this painting. And also, I think these are the elves sailing off into the west. And this other painting, very great. Love the details. Yeah, it looks so amazing. Right here, you have a map of Middle-earth. It's a little inaccurate because you have, this needs to focus better. Yeah, it's a little inaccurate because, well, right here is the Tower of Orthanc, yet for some reason, the Tower of Orthanc is in Mordor, which is inaccurate, but oh well. You have another map right here, which also looks pretty cool. Small tables back here, and then these are stairs that lead up to the council. Moving on, this archway that leads into the tower build, and then you have a map of Mordor right there. Definitely, when they released this set, they knew that they were going to do a Barad-dûr. And then you have a cool sticker detail right here of the forging of the Great Ring. Yeah, looks pretty cool. Love the sticker detail. Also, these elves are using the old elf head molds. Just saying. Why couldn't they just stick with the original? But oh well. Now here's the council. Looks really great. Also back here, I want to point out this cool elven banner. But yeah, council. That's like the main focus of the set. Really cool building techniques and designs. They used sausage pieces and popsicle sticks for the chairs, and then they just put it into a beige color, which looks great. This is where you can put the ring, and I think these are new pieces that they've made for it. At least I think. These right here, I don't think I've ever seen them before, and I think they look really cool, and I just love this design that they used for it, for the spot where they put the ring, because it just looks so amazing. Let's put that back together. Uh-oh. Okay, there. Christ averted. And again, love the chair for Elrond to sit on. Sorry. Also, another cool thing is you can actually remove the tree, the council here, to kind of have it as a modular piece, and then right underneath, homaging the original Council of Elrond set, you have the Eye of Sauron, kind of just watching the council, which is really cool. Nice Easter egg. And just taking a closer look at the council, these are like really cool printed tile pieces that they've used. It looks like it's making the shape of a compass. I love this. It looks great. Also something that I wanted to point out that I forgot to mention was that hobbits and the dress piece characters have their own pieces to make them sit. All you need to do is take off their legs and just add them. I think they look pretty good. For the hobbits, it looks a little weird at the back, but just don't show the back and it'll be fine. It won't be cursed. And then for Elrond and Gandalf, I definitely do think this piece works really well, and also this is printed. It's not a sticker piece, which I really love. It's so cool that they did that. But yeah, it's kind of just something I was like, oh shoot, I forgot to add that part, and I want to mention it. But also another thing, the council, really easy to put back onto the main building. You just pop it in just like the gazebo on the other part of the set. It just needs to fit into the slots properly. Hard to do with one hand, but you know, when you have two hands and not holding a camera, it works. There, okay. So yeah, overall, great build. Now let's move on to my final thoughts and the conclusion. Okay, so moving on to my final thoughts about this set. I really love this set. I definitely have to give it a solid 10 out of 10. I just love the minifigures. I love the build. Just everything about it just feels perfect to me. So that's why I'm going to have to give it a solid 10 out of 10, like I just said. Yeah, can't get any better than this. I'm hoping Barad-dûr will be also really great. We recently got a minifigure update. We're not going to have as much minifigures, but I definitely do think I like the idea of the ones that we were getting. So I'm very excited, and hopefully 2025, maybe even at the end of 2024, we'll get a small wave of play scale sets, maybe a few battle packs for like orcs in Gondor and Rohan soldiers. That would just be so great for collectors and fans like me. So yeah, very excited. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more Lego Lord of the Rings reviews or Hobbit reviews. But I'm definitely going to start doing more Star Wars stuff again, because that's what my channel's for anyway. It's just right now Lord of the Rings is very popular, so I'm going to move on to a bit more Lord of the Rings. But now that I'm done that, I'm going to start doing more Star Wars. But please let me know if you want more Lord of the Rings and Hobbit reviews up next. So yeah, please stay tuned for the next video, and have a good one. Please like and subscribe. Goodbye.